Keith Richards is the kind of rock and roll icon who seems almost impossible to sum up in words. The leather jackets, the immortal riffs, the endless tours. His story could fill volumes. But behind the curtain of fame and the roar of the crowd is another role he's played for decades. Father. Yes, the Rolling Stones' legendary guitarist is dad to 5 children, each with their own unique personality, their own path in life, and their own connection to the man who raised them. Sadly, one of his children passed away as an infant, but every one of them is part of the tapestry that makes up Keith's real legacy. Marlin Leon Sundeep Richards. Born on August 10, 1969, Marlon was Keith's first child with model Anita Pallenberg, and his entrance into the world came right as the Rolling Stones were exploding into global superstardom. Imagine your first crib being on a tour bus, and your lullabies being live guitar riffs. That was Marlon's reality. Keith once admitted that touring with a young child in tow wasn't easy on him, and Anita later recalled teaching Marlon to read and write herself while moving from city to city. By the early 90s, Marlon was carving out his own life. In 1992, thanks to a bit of matchmaking from his mother, he met model Lucy de la Falaise. Anita had seen her on the cover of Vogue Italia and thought she'd be perfect for her son. She was right. The couple married in 1994 and now have 3 children, Ella Rose, Orson, and Ida Violet. Marlon built a career in the art world as a gallery curator, photographer, and graphic artist. Keith has said that his son is determined to give his own children the stability he never had as a kid, hands-on all the time, in Keith's words. But that doesn't mean Marlon has lost his rock and roll edge. His daughter Ella, a model herself, once revealed she raids his closet for his really nice cashmere sweaters. Looks like even in the next generation, the Richards style lives on. Dandelion Angela Richards. On April 17, 1972, Keith and Anita welcomed their second child, a daughter they named Dandelion. Though she's known to everyone as Angela. While her name is memorable, it's not the origin of the Stones' hit, Angie, despite decades of rumors. Keith has clarified in his autobiography that the name in the song just came to him. Pure coincidence. Angela has always preferred life outside the limelight. She's a mother of 2, Ava Melody and Otto Reed, and has been described by her sisters as the life of the party in private settings, someone who can turn a regular evening into a full-on celebration. Though she keeps her personal life off social media, her sisters often post tributes to her, calling her Starshine, and praising the joy she brings to everyone around her. Her relationships have also been part of her personal journey. She was married for 15 years to Dominic Jennings before they split, and later got engaged to Graham Whitney in 2020. While she might not be photographed at fashion weeks or music festivals like her younger sisters, Angela remains an essential part of the Richards family circle. Tara Jojo Gunna Richards. In March 1976, Keith and Anita welcomed their second son, Tara Jojo Gunna Richards. His name, like much of Keith's world at the time, carried a touch of whimsy and rock and roll eccentricity. But his life was heartbreakingly short. Just 2 months after his birth, Tara died of sudden infant death syndrome, a tragedy that left a permanent mark on Keith and Anita's lives. Keith was in Paris on tour with the Rolling Stones when he got the call that would change him forever. In that moment, the electric energy of the road, the adrenaline of the shows, and the noise of the crowd all fell away into an unbearable stillness. He's admitted that, even decades later, the loss still echoes through his thoughts, a reminder that there are pains no stage or spotlight can numb. In his memoir Life, Keith confessed that leaving Anita so soon after Tara's birth was a choice he can never forgive himself for. He wrote that it felt like deserting his post, a deep regret that has stayed with him for the rest of his life. His co-author, James Fox, revealed that the first time they spoke about Tara for the book, Keith could barely get out more than 5 words before he was overcome with emotion. It was clear that the wound, though old, had never truly healed. Keith has often said that music has been his way of coping with life's blows, and in the days following Tara's death, he chose to keep performing. It wasn't about ignoring the loss, it was about survival. "I thought, I'm going to go mad unless I do this show tonight," he once explained. "If I just sit here with this idea, I don't know what I'd do." For Keith, the stage became both a shield and a place to process his grief. Even amid the chaos, the parties, and the relentless pace of the rock and roll lifestyle, the memory of Tara has remained a quiet, unshakable presence. It's a chapter of Keith Richards' life that is rarely spoken about, but it reveals a truth about the man behind the legend. Beneath the swagger and the riffs is a father who knows the sharp pain of loss and who carries it with him always. Theodora Dupri Richards. Jump ahead to March 18, 1985, and Keith's life looked different. He was married to model Patty Hansen, and together they welcomed their daughter, Theodora. Named after her great-grandfather, Theodora grew up in a much calmer setting than her older half-siblings. Though calm is a relative term when Keith Richards is your dad. She has a creative streak that spans multiple disciplines, modeling for Harper's Bazaar and British Vogue, illustrating Keith's children's book Gus and Me, and hosting her own Sirius XM show Off the Cuff, where she interviews musicians and artists. She's spoken fondly of her upbringing, remembering mornings filled with classical music, reggae in the afternoons, and rock and roll at night. And yes, she has confessed to occasionally raiding her father's closet for style inspiration. Her personality is warm and open, and her Instagram offers glimpses into her life. Sisterly moments with Alexandra, quality time with her nieces and nephews, and snapshots of her French bulldog Honey. Theodora is the kind of person who can be both the cool model in a fashion spread and the loving aunt at a family gathering. Alexandra Nicole Richards. Born on July 28, 1986, Alexandra is Keith's youngest child. She began modeling at just 14, often alongside Theodora, but found her real passion behind the DJ booth. Now, she travels the globe performing at events, bringing her own rhythm to the family legacy. Despite her career in the public eye, Alexandra describes herself as shy and prefers a quiet, family-centered life when she's not working. She's also a committed philanthropist, working with organizations like Sphere, which supports adults with disabilities, and Project Zero, which protects the world's oceans. Alexandra married film director Jacques Naughty in a backyard ceremony at her parents' home in Connecticut in 2019. They've since welcomed 2 children, daughter Arlo May in 2021 and son Elvis Nova in February 2025. Alexandra once said she and Theodora grew up in a little house in the woods, far removed from the chaos of the rock scene. That quiet upbringing, mixed with a world-traveling career, seems to have given her the best of both worlds, and her dad another reason to smile. Keith Richards once told the Daily Mail, "I love my families. I'm extremely blessed with my ladies, who all, thank God, get along." From the unconventional upbringing of his eldest to the creative successes of his youngest, Keith's children show a side of the rock legend that isn't about guitars or tours. It's about connection, resilience, and love. So there they are, Marlon, Angela, Tara, Theodora, and Alexandra. 5 stories woven into one legendary life. And while the world will always remember Keith Richards for his music, his greatest legacy might just be the family he's built. If you enjoyed this look into the softer side of a rock icon, don't forget to leave a comment, hit that like button, and subscribe for more stories where music history meets family history.